back with another video. I'm going to show you how to do decreases in the purl. So remember, for purling we want to make sure our yarn is in front. So I'm going to make sure my yarn is in front when I begin. I'm going to purl my first 2 stitches. Needle comes through the back. Wrap the yarn around, pull it through, and slide off. Needle through the back, wrap my yarn, pull it through, and slide it off. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the decrease. So like in our other washcloth, we're going to knit 1 stitch, or in this case purl 1 stitch, and we're going to purl 2 together. So like with the knit 2 together, that means we're taking 2 stitches and working them together. So slide in through the back of this stitch, slide in through the back of stitch number 2, wrap your yarn, pull it through both of those stitches, and slide them off. Do a yarn over and purl 2 together again. Okay. Through the back loop of stitch number 1, through the back of stitch number 2, wrap your yarn, pull it through, and slide it off the needle. And we will purl to the end. Turn work, yarn in front, purl the first stitch, we're going to purl 2 together through the back of 1, through the back of the second, wrap your yarn, pull it through, and slide off. Yarn over, we're going to purl 2 together again, back of 1, through 2, wrap your yarn, pull it through, and slide off, and purl to the end. Through the back of the stitch, wrap your yarn, and slide the stitch off. And purling can be a little fiddly when you're starting out and learning how to do it and control your yarn. So be patient with yourself. I'm going to purl 1 stitch, purl 2 together, yarn over, purl 2 together, and purl to the end. And this is creating the same type of decrease as in the first washcloth that we learned how to make. It is basically the same washcloth, we're just using purls instead of knits. And let's work this a few more times together. And hopefully you'll have the hang of it by the time this video is over. Purl the first stitch. Or purl 2 together. Yarn over. Purl 2 together. And purl to the end. And see here, as I turned my work, my yarn is in the back of my needle. Just make sure to bring that right up front. And purl my stitch. Purl 2 together. Yarn over. Purl 2 together. And purl to the end. And you can see we're getting our square going on here. Purl first stitch, purl 2 together, yarn over, purl 2 together, purl to the end. And here is a perfect opportunity to show something. You see how my stitch has, my yarn, my working yarn has pulled this stitch up, and you're looking at the bottom of it. This is not where we want to put our needle. Bring this down. This is how your stitch should look, coming over the top with a loop around it, like that. So make sure that you're knitting into this part of the stitch right here and not this part. Okay. And you can just take your thumb and kind of pull it down and straighten it out a little bit. So we're going to bring our needle through the back of that stitch, yarn over, pull through, and slide off. Now purl 2 together, yarn over, and purl 2 together. Okay, and you'll keep doing your decreases until you get to where you need to bind off. And it is the same bind off as you would do for your other washcloth. You can go back and look at the video. But there you go. You have made a washcloth with just purl stitches. And I do encourage you to practice the purl stitches, because in the future, as you learn to knit better and knit more things, you will need to know how to use purl stitches. So there you go.